Hulk Hogan.
And did you have any conversations with Vince Jr. during this time?
I never talked to the guy. One time, I said one thing to him. When I never talked. My dad did. My dad acted as like my agent.
Okay.
I was just to keep my mouth shut and do what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, save your money. That started rubbing me wrong because I wanted to climb.
Yeah.
And with that type of thing, I wasn't climbing anywhere. So that's how I was treated, just like a kid. My dad would handle business and make sure that he had his thing done, and just to keep your mouth shut, just do what you're told.
So that was kind of stressing you out then at that
I
point,
didn't
right?
like
Because
that.
you wanted to do this on your own, right?
Yeah. I wanted to do it on my own, but I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to, like the other guys were
Sure.
getting, like the Wyndhams and the Rotundos, and like all those guys. I felt like I had talent and I could back up the name. That was no pressure to me to have the name.
That's great.
Because if I didn't have talent, then there would be pressure. If I wasn't strong and pressing Ken Patera over my head in Madison Square Garden, you know what I'm saying? I could do things. I could get things done.
As a pro wrestler, so you've in this interview already you talked about how well you wrestled, which we all think you were a great wrestler.
Oh, thank you.
How did you feel your mic skill was, and what is more important, mic or mat skills?
Both. Yeah, they both have to be. One goes with the other. Well, how did you really ever see what my skills were? Because I was never in an angle with anybody.
Well, I got to be honest with you. One thing that bothered me, again, I grew. You're not much older than I am, but I watched wrestling, right? And I was a fan of yours, and I could actually remember a Piper's Pit where you're actually there on Piper's Pit, but it was actually the Tonga Kid. They rolled that into a Tonga Kid angle. It kind of bothered me.
Yeah, but I know which one you're talking because I just saw that not too long ago. Yes, I mean you're not going to be on all the time. And I was probably nervous then too because I had just started there.
Yeah.
But it was there. And anytime they ever did an angle, they would never do one with me and my dad on TV. It was always in a club. It was old school in the club. In other words, you did it on the club, but it wasn't done on TV, so you come back the next month with the cage match or the Texas death match or whatever it was. But everybody else was getting their angles done on TV so they can go to Los Angeles, so they can go to Toronto, so they can go to Chicago and New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
They could take it, and that's where you make the money.
Absolutely.
So with us, it was just old school, do it in the club and bring up the club and this and that. But doing that stuff in those same clubs, we were drawn. We were drawn. We were outdrawn Hogan and all them. Yeah, my dad was still here. He'd tell you, he'd talk your ears off on that.
I gotcha. So you do have the opportunity to wrestle in WrestleMania 1 against Brutus Beefcake. How does that come about?
I don't know. The matches were made. WrestleMania 1, it wasn't like it is today. It was a big show.
It was huge.
It was a big show, but I mean, it was like a, I didn't look at it as a big special thing. The only big special thing about it, I guess, they're going to have these dancers, and they're going to have Liberace, and they're going to have some celebrities take part in the show. But it was just a big stacked card at Madison Square Garden. My dad was going to be in my corner, and boy, that was going to be special, and it turned out to be this big phenomenon. Okay, right. But then it was just a big show, and it was closed circuit. It wasn't pay-per-view. That was still in closed circuit.
That's right.
So it was like I guess it wouldn't have been no different when they closed circuited Shea Stadium.